Good morning, everybody. My name is Dave, and you are listening to... Wait, did you hear? I am your host, and I got my co-host with me here today. It's my wife,
Hilary.
Hi, Hilary.
Hi.
So, what this podcast is kind of all about, in my opinion, is it's essentially kind of like what you normally get with your morning news, except instead of having it really be about news, it's just about stuff that we ran into in the last week, and we have thoughts. But we're trying to have a good time here. So what I want to start off here with is a question. And that is, I'm using Reddit. And instead of the Am I the Butthole post that they have, I'm doing the Am I Overreacting? And over the last week, I like to choose one of the most popular questions that popped up here. And here's the question that popped up. And it is called, Am I Overreacting? Because my best friend no longer wants me as his best man in his wedding because I'm gay. So here's the story. They actually have pictures on the posts about the actual text messages exchanged and everything, but he actually kind of summarizes it in the post, which says, my best friend, since we were kids, is getting married in a few months, and suddenly him and his wife decided to not only move me from being his best man, but out of the wedding party altogether simply because I'm a gay man. I understand it's their wedding and their choice, but me and him have been essentially brothers growing up, and this seems so odd to me. I'd think that he'd at least try and talk to his wife and her parents first, and I can't begin to understand why me being gay is even a problem. Because of this, I don't even want to go anymore, and this honestly hurts quite a bit. Am I overreacting here? Or should I still attend? This is frustrating, and I don't know what to do. Your thoughts?
No, he's not overreacting at all.
Yeah, no. I found some of the comments I was kind of looking through here yesterday pretty interesting. They're like, yeah, the general gist is it's best to avoid now because later on down the road, it's not just you being kicked out of a wedding party. It would be the wife is going to dictate who he can and cannot be friends with as well. So even if it's not just the wedding, like, you can avoid the wedding. That's fine. But it's probably not going to end there.
Well, and I guess I would need a little bit more detail and context. And I was waiting for the reason behind it. Because, do they not want to walk down the aisle with a woman because that would be weird and they don't want him to walk down an aisle with another man or something? I was waiting for some more details to the story, but if it is simply just they don't want him there because he's gay, he is not overreacting at all.
Yeah, 'cause looking at the text messages here, she's like, I was talking to his wife last night, and she said it would be a bad look if her husband's best man, who was standing right next to him on his wedding day, was a gay man. I guess her parents have been asking a lot of questions, and she would just rather not deal with it. And then of course, the guy in question is putting up a little bit of a fight, which is completely understandable. And then the groom-to-be comes back with, oh, no, you being gay isn't the issue, dude. It's the large amount of questions my wife and I are getting because of you being gay. So you being gay is the issue then.
Well, from what that sounds like, is she's worried that people will think that they're more than just friends or something, which is ridiculous.
Right. But, it's kind of the overall theory on the comments is that, the wedding's one thing, but you still being friends after the wedding is probably going to be just as problematic. That's a marriage that probably won't last all that long.
Right, because the next thing will be okay, well, we don't want you standing up in the wedding because it's a weird look. And then it'll be well, you can't go get drinks with your friend because that's weird,
Oh, well. So, yeah, that was the question of the day. So, yeah, today is November 2nd. We're getting right into the latter half of the year here. And so we're going on to what I call the special event, or the special of the day.
It's the special of the day, the special of the freaking day.
And this is kind of, in general, special days that we run into throughout this week, a little bit of last week since we didn't do the podcast yet, but obviously we just missed Halloween, right? That's that's a big one. So
And Halloween is my favorite holiday.
yes, it's an interesting holiday, especially for decorations.
Yep.
And things like that. And so we had one of those giant skeletons that I think are an exclusive at Home Depot. It's 12 feet tall. It's got the light up eyes, and we had the light up ribs as well to make it really look spooky during the holiday season. And we had it up early.
Yeah, like mid-September.
Yeah, so it's been up for like a month and a half, no problems. And we've had lots of weather concern, a lot of raining, a lot of windy season stuff going on. And through that entire time, nothing was wrong with it. It's pinned down. It never moved an inch. And what happens on literally Halloween night, the day of Halloween? What happens?
Well, when I got home, it was kaput.
It fell over, which was weird because it wasn't exactly a windy day.
I mean, it was a little bit.
It had
windy,
a little bit
but
of wind,
not
but
enough.
we've had more wind in the last month and a half. But geez, right on Halloween, it fell over. And I mean, my first thought was, I don't know if like an animal ran into it and fell over, or somebody, like a neighbor, was just like knock over the skeleton, or somebody was jealous because they wanted their stuff to look better.
They would have had to do it in broad daylight, because when I left, it was still up, and it was dark when I leave, because I leave like at 7:45 or so. So like they didn't even use the cover of darkness if they did mess with it.
Right. So that's a possibility. My other thought I just had was, what if it was a ghost? What if a ghost did it?
Why would a ghost do it?
Because it's Halloween. The Halloween ghosts, they do things, you know.
Okay.
Throughout the last week, what happened else? So on my job, I guess unofficially went on strike because I think officially you need to go through proper channels, like go through
HIPAA.
That's the doctor thing.
That is.
That's whatever it's called. OSHA, but they're doing a lot of us. And I didn't do that. However, I could because it was a health concern. But kind of like your job, I have secrecy. So like I have things that I've signed where I can't really talk about, you know, certain things about my job. But I can tell you that I work basically as a janitor, custodian type of thing, going from business to business, cleaning them. And something happened that I was concerned about practices being done there, specifically as to health concerns. And my job actually agreed with me, but they're also not doing anything about it. So that's why I'm on quote-unquote strike with them until somebody fixes that issue. You volunteered at a book fair. What's that about?
Well, I mean, you remember, like, when we were kids, they would have the scholastic book fairs, and you could go with your money and buy books. It was always a really fun time. And so they have these at the kids' school, like, all the time. And so I volunteered, and that is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Now, I've worked retail at Macy's during Christmas, during a sale, in the shoe department. Like, I am not a stranger to crazy retail situations. But little hyper kids picking out books and the equipment being junky and not working, like that is a whole new level of crazy.
I didn't think that there would be so many, or any really, volunteers doing this, because when I was a kid, yes, we had our book fairs, we had our scholastic things going on, but the only thing that I can remember personally, I could be wrong with my memory, is that we had the school librarian there.
Which, yeah.
And that was it. Like,
well, it was that and parents, because like my parents would volunteer.
Like there might be like a fair after hours where we would come back after school was done, and then the parents would be there picking out books or whatever with the kids, and that would be a separate thing. But
no, there was 3 people on the first shift that I was at, and then the second shift there was only me and one other person.
Yeah, so that's what happened in the last week, but in the coming week, we are starting today, November 2nd, leading all the way into, you know, Saturday the 8th. We have a lot of things going on, but really today is a big day all on its own.
Why?
Why? Because it's David Schwimmer's birthday. Happy birthday to David Schwimmer.
I didn't realize that we cared, but okay.
Okay, fine. That's probably the lesser of the things. One of the bigger things, I suppose, would be today is the end of daylight savings time. So, you know, you're changing your clocks. And I've always hated daylight savings because I'm pushing 40, you know, a couple more years and I will be 40, but I still don't understand it. And I'm always like, okay, am I waking up an hour later or earlier? Just tell me that, because I don't understand how it works. I still don't.
Well, we fall back in the fall, so you get an extra hour of sleep.
Oh, okay.
So right now, what time is it? Like 9:25?
It's 9:25.
It used to be 8:25.
Well, it's not now.
Or, yeah, no.
Wait.
No.
See?
It used to be...
You see?
It used to be 10:25.
You see?
So we gained an hour.
That's what I'm talking about. This is why it's confusing, and it shouldn't even be a thing.
Well, no, it shouldn't be a thing. They should just get rid of it.
Obviously, throughout the year, we all know that the days get longer and then they get shorter again. We all know that, and we all expect it. And by doing this, it really confuses the brain because it's still not exact. You'd have to do daylight savings hour throughout the entire year for it to be exact.
And it doesn't even matter because it doesn't change how many hours of daylight there is. Like, there's still the same amount of hours of daylight. You just change when they happen. That's just stupid.
That's not how time works. That's all I gotta say. It's not how time works. But really, the biggest thing about today, November 2nd, is that it is the Day of the Dead. It is Dia de la Muertos. I can't say the word. It is the Day of the Dead in the Mexican culture.
I don't know.
It's in the movie Disney, the Coco. That's what today is.
Yeah, I know what the Day of the Dead is.
Okay, so if you don't know what that is, or you don't really know the specifics, it is a traditional Mexican holiday, which is celebrated on November 2nd, and on this day, it is believed that the souls of the dead return to visit their living family members. Many people celebrate this day by visiting graves of deceased loved ones and setting up altars with their favorite food, drinks, and photos. So, obviously, I think the biggest movie in American culture, I would say, is Coco. But there's a few other movies out there that celebrate the same exact thing. Day of the Dead, in terms of the zombie movies, that is not.
No. You know they had a bunch of celebrations downtown, right?
I did not know that. I also know that apart from Day of the Dead, the American holiday, because we can't just let other cultures have their say, is All Souls Day. Okay, so All Souls Day is more of a Christian holiday in which they observe it by attending Mass, offering prayers and sacrifices, and lighting candles to help ease the suffering of those who have died without been saved.
What kind of sacrifices are we talking about here?
This is a copy paste, so I don't know what kind of sacrifices.
Because that seems sketchy.
Like human sacrifices? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, they have their issues with their pagan holidays, and then they're like, we're going to do a sacrifice.
I'm not entirely sure, but I can tell you that it definitely seems like it was borrowed from Day of the Dead borrowed. And like just kind of reinterpreted because it really is about loved ones that have departed somewhat recently. And obviously it's specifically with Christianity, it is those who have died that have not been saved yet, and now we have to remember them because of that.
Oh, okay.
Because maybe if by doing so it will still maybe help save their souls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
happy,
we're on an ego trip. Got it.
Yeah, happy All Souls Day, everybody. Happy All Souls Day. Which brings us to Kid Corner.
Kid Corner! Kid Corner!
That's a weird transition.
I don't know how to transition. How would you like to transition it?
I don't know, but like going from Day of the Dead to Kids Corner is a little bit weird.
I can't help you. What else is this week? I suppose I didn't really talk about.
Technically,
there's Election Day.
Election Day going on in on the 4th.
Yeah, I think it's. I thought it was the 4th. I think it was 4th.
Technically, my due date for our youngest kid was somewhere in the beginning of November, but
it was last week.
November.
It was a few years ago.
Well, yes, I know, but like because he decided to be 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
But I think it was about like the 2nd or 3rd was
initially,
supposed to be my DJ.
Initially, but he was early, very early. Speaking of kids,
there's a better transition.
There you go, Kid Corner. So this is the segment of the show where we ask our kids to present us with something, whether it be a story, whether it be a joke, whether it be something that they write out that we read to you, or if they want to draw something and we can try to explain what they draw, whatever the case may be, and then we kind of react in real time because one of our kids did this. This was Finn. Liam did not want to participate gave him too much anxiety. So this is specifically from Finn. He is presenting us with a 5-minute long audio clip, or no, he actually shot a video. So, well, if there's anything that he's doing that we have to explain, we will do so, but we have not seen this. We don't know what he's talking about yet. It could be absolutely malarkey, but we're going to find out right now. So this is Kid Corner, and this is Finn's presentation.
Hey guys, today I'm doing Kids Corner.
Very good.
Look at my
Oh, he's going to show us something.
He's showing his pop.
cola.
Coca-Cola.
Thank you.
Knock knock.
Oh, who's there?
Who's there?
Oh, he's going to do it too. Okay.
Scally.
Skelly who?
Scally who?
Oh, okay, he's going to do it too. Okay.
Scally 10.
Skeleton!
Oh, for heaven's sakes. And we have some weird faces.
Oh,
Good.
He's opening his eyes wide. Yep, thank you for that.
My weekend has been great.
What happened?
The
Oh.
best.
At this point, he's just getting his face real close to the camera and screaming.
That checks out.
Oh my god.
Okay. And he's running around and showing the TV
This is the TV.
with a peace sign. He has no idea what he's doing.
That's because, one, we were trying to explain to Liam what it is and what we were looking for. Finn ran off and did this.
And more faces.
More phases, more him just running around. Yeah.
He definitely goes to the beat of his own drum.
We're really close to his face now.
That was a gassy fart.
Wait.
What did he say? Gassy
fart?
fart?
Showing us outside. Yeah. Did you hear him screaming during all this?
I did not.
10 more minutes until I'm done.
Oh my god.
So he's recording this on his tablet, and the tablet gives him a time limit of 5 minutes total that he can record. And so his plan was to record as much as he possibly could before the time limit stopped him. And he had no idea what to do, so he's literally just running around the house, screaming, making weird faces, and he's like, oh, I got 2 more minutes till I'm done. So he has absolutely no...
And now he's petting the couch.
That's normal. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, okay.
Okay,
Oh.
we have twerking and jumping over the camera.
Which is facing the ceiling, and he's jumping. Oh, yep.
And he's in the bathroom. Why?
You better. Oh God, why are you in the bathroom? I'm scared. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Oh, he did it.
Now he's filming himself pee. Oh God. This is a terrible idea. Why did we do Kids Corner?
This was your idea. Leave me out of it. Well, he remembered to flush, okay?
Yeah, and then he's gonna. Okay,
Oh,
it's
and
done
then it
now.
ends.
It's done now. And we know enough to know that he didn't wash his hands before he touched the tablet. Got it.
Great.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Finn. All right. Well, the next time we do Kid Corner, if we don't cancel it entirely,
I think you probably should talk to him about
we
this.
should talk about this and be like, okay, we definitely just need audio. Okay, we won't need to go the full 5 minutes where you run out of ideas and you're like, oh, I know, I'll just pee. So, oh my God, that was Finn. This is what Finn does. Chaotic child. Hard to describe. But it's a good transition period. We should go on to our next segment, which we call the recipe of the week.
Yep.
Because I'm hungry after that.
Are you? Because that's a weird thing to get hungry after, but okay.
Who's that cooking? My hunger's peaked. Holy crap, it's the recipe of the week.
So this week we have...
It is a creamy, cheesy jalapeno popper chili.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what this is all about and what's in it. And
It has chicken, lime juice and seasoning, jalapenos, bacon, onion, garlic, chicken stock, heavy cream, shredded cheddar jack cheese, cream cheese, and scallions.
Right. And the only thing that we made a change with this recipe was that we added what was optional, which was beans because it's chili.
Right. So we added some white beans.
It is a white bean chicken chili recipe that has been tweaked, obviously. So I couldn't understand for the life of me having a chili without beans. So adding beans helped with certain things, texture, but also
Extra protein, extra
fiber, and stuff like that. And we did not use cilantro.
Well, I didn't even mention it because it is in the recipe, but I am one of those people that cilantro doesn't taste like soap. It just tastes like rotten, like something's off. So I prefer not to use it.
Yeah. And then also, I think in general, when it comes down to the scallions or the green onions or whatever you want to call them, I think in the recipe, they just wanted it as a topping.
Yeah.
But we're just like, we're not going to worry about that. We just cooked it alongside everything else. Just threw it into the soup.
At the end.
Yeah.
Plus, it says 3, and I definitely use the whole bunch because you
Oh,
buy
that's
those in a
100%
bunch.
what you do. It's just like when they tell you to chop this much garlic, and you're like, times 3, 4, whatever it is. Whatever they say about chopping onions, you're like, I'll use more of that. It's kind of one of those things. And we definitely had more jalapenos than they asked for.
Well, because we had them from the garden, but they were all frozen in a bag in the freezer.
It's hard to measure.
And so they say 6 whole jalapenos. Like, well, I don't know what a whole jalapeno is, so we just dumped in the bag.
We most likely used 8 to 10.
It's
I would
possible.
imagine. Anyways, what did you think about it?
I was a little bit apprehensive because I don't love jalapenos, but I really liked it.
I liked it a lot. Now, given the fact I am a big chili fan, there's very few chilies out there that I haven't enjoyed. I will say that I have a little bit of a hot take because I'm not a huge fan of Wendy's chili. I think it's too wet, for instance. Steak and Shake has a chili as well that I've eaten more than Wendy's, but for the most part, I don't like it too dry. There's a sweet spot. But most chilies, white chicken chili, regular chili, spicy chili, I'm a big fan of. However, I don't really call this chili. I really don't. Even after you add the beans, it's still just soup.
It was basically a soup, yeah.
Because, yeah, there's barely anything in it that really quantifies it as being called chili. It's, I mean, obviously closer to white bean chicken chili, but given the fact that it has all this other stuff, like the chicken that has the Seitan seasoning on it and stuff like that, that's different.
Okay, well, I just kind of looked it up here. What is the difference between soup versus chili?
Yeah.
So, soup has a higher liquid to solid ratio.
Yes.
And it mentions stew has less
I was
liquid
thinking
and
about stew,
more
yeah.
solid ingredients. And chili is often considered a type of stew because of its thickness.
Yeah.
So, I always put more liquid in that
You
probably
do,
supposed to. Because I think it
personally.
says 2 cups chicken stock, and I just used the whole carton because what am I going to do with it?
You're not going to save it.
Well, I have saved it historically, and then we just end up throwing it out because then we don't use it.
Yeah. So I think it's more of a soup just because it was more liquidy.
Well, that was my fault.
If
though.
you are not a fan of jalapenos, you could probably lessen that. I could barely tell. Even though the fact that we added more than we should have put in there. Yes, the soup was, I would just say, slightly spicy. It wasn't, because what doled it down was the cream.
The cream and the cream cheese.
The cream and cream cheese.
And it's a whole package of cream cheese.
Do we actually have regular cheese in there? Or
Yeah.
No? Cheddar Jack. The Cheddar Jack probably also lessened it as well. Not only that, but I don't know if we cooked it too long or whatever, but the jalapenos were also incredibly soft. You couldn't even tell that they were there. You might be able to see them, but they had no crunch. They had nothing. It was very, very soft. In general, I liked it a lot. I definitely ate more than you did.
You ate the leftovers for lunch.
And I'm not a huge leftover guy. Would you recommend it?
I mean, I would recommend it to anybody who is okay to loving jalapenos. If you hate jalapenos, probably skip it. But I'm one of those people that I'm like, okay, well, it's fine sometimes and not great other times. So that's why I say, like, if you like to love them.
Yeah. So definitely give it a go and tell us what you thought about it. You can find this specific recipe that we used in the description for the podcast episode, but also if you head over to our Facebook page as well, which I linked in the podcast as well, you can find the recipe this week, and you can, go there and you can leave your thoughts on the post and all that, and we'd like to hear from you. Anyways, moving on from recipe of the week, we go to the book of the week.
It's the book of the week. Yeah.
Now we have 2 books of the week because we read separately. So, do you want to start with yours, or do you want me to start with mine?
I mean, I can start.
Go ahead.
So I was looking for something in the horror genre because it was the week of Halloween. So I had this book called The Hunger, which actually follows the Donner Party as they're crossing, to California. So like a group of people going from the east side of the state all the way to California, wherever they're heading. And it does specifically focus on the Donner Party, the party that we all know was cannibalistic and hate each other. So it goes on that, those facts, but it also goes a step further and kind of takes those facts, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was skinwalkers or werewolves or some sort of zombie or basically some sort of illness that affected other men and made them eat each other.
I was wondering if it was just kind of a historical take on it, but you're saying they really fictionalized,
They
fictionalized
it and gave a different perspective of why they may have eaten each other. And then to go further than that, there was kind of this symbolism that, the evil of men and how some men can just hide their evil tendencies until the point where they infect others around them. So that was a very big theme, and that's, it's relevant. I mean, to this day, there's people who are evil and you don't know it, and they just kind of slowly infect the people around them.
Yeah, I could see that. So out of a 5-star rating, what are you gonna give it?
I mean, it was fine. I didn't give up on it.
You don't give up on books as easily as I do.
I really don't give up on books very easily. I have a really hard time with books and horror because they're never scary to me. And I don't know if it's because you're reading it versus watching something. Like scary movies can be scarier, in my opinion, than a book. But, I mean, it was fine. I'd probably do maybe a 3 out of 5. If you like historical fiction, check it out. If you're I don't want any of this historical fictionalized hodgepodge of blending of horror and fact, to skip it.
Okay. And so on Goodreads, I'm looking at it right now. It has an average rating of 3.6 out of 5. It was also a Goodreads Choice Award, which it didn't win, it doesn't look like, but it does look like it got the nominee for Reader's Favorite Horror of the year that it came out, which was 2018.
Right. And I think I went through and I found the favorite horror books at some point.
I've always been interested in reading horror as well, which is kind of why when I created a bingo card of reading for you, one of them was Stephen King. But obviously, Stephen King doesn't only write horror.
Stephen King said that this book was deeply disturbing and don't read it at night.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that he said anything about it.
It was on the cover or something. I saw that.
Okay, well, horror is very subjective. That's the problem. I've also not been really scared by anything that I read. However, I have been disturbed by certain things that I have read. Stephen King has a son, Joe Hill, who has written some horror books, and I've liked his style of writing. So I don't know. So that was your book, The Hunger by Alma Katsu.
Yeah, I wasn't going to attempt that name.
Yeah. So my book, however, is Batman. It is Batman Revolution, which is the second book in a series, it might be ongoing, that is supposed to take place in between the Tim Burton Batman movies of Batman and Batman Returns. That's what really interested me, because his world of Batman is very dark, it's gothic, it's weird. He's got his pale characters as well, which was perfect for the Joker back in the day, and even the Penguin was very pale, right? If you look back at those movies. The last book was Batman Resurrection, which focused on the character of Clayface, which I found to be a very interesting take on the character. And then this book, Revolution, was about the Riddler. I wanted to know what a Tim Burton-esque Riddler looked like. Unfortunately, these books, they don't really capture the Tim Burton vibe that I look for. I really liked how the Riddler was this, nice guy, but he kind of turned into the Riddler out of, necessity or spite or whatever, and I really liked that transition. But I liked the book okay, but it is incredibly long. It's 544 pages, which was significantly longer than the last book. So, out of 5, I think my score officially is 3.5, 3.5. But on Goodreads, they don't let you say half points, so I said 3 out of 5. Though I will say the average on Goodreads is 4.44 out of 5.
Yeah, but how much do you think that is just like loyalty? Because people who like
Well,
Batman
it's
superheroes in general, like they just have this weird loyalty.
There is a loyalty. However, a lot of those people don't like to read. And two, this book is brand new. It came out like...
Well, then how many ratings are there in general?
57.
Because, okay, that's not very many.
57.
How many were there on mine?
There were 34,000.
Well, there you go.
Because yours has been out since 2018.
Yeah, that's fine. But, like, the more ratings you get, the more it kind of equals out to be more accurate. I feel like in the beginning, you just get a lot of fans and people who rate it 5 stars just because they like the last one.
So, the last book, Resurrection, there's now 2,000 ratings, and the average rating's 4.07. But this is 4.44, but there is only 57 because it literally has just been a few days. It came out on October 28th.
Okay.
It's November 2nd now. So, like, it's been a week. Like, that's it. Like, as soon as it came out, I was like, I'm ready to go. Obviously, we're going to be having a book of the week. So, I wanted to read that. And the same goes with the next book of the week, for me at least. I don't know if you're joining in on that one. But that one came out as well, probably a week prior to this book.
Okay.
So, you'll have to tune in next time to hear about that. But yeah. Those are our books of the week. Again, these can be found on the description of the podcast as well as our Facebook page, so you could check that out and tell us what you thought about these books, if you've read them at all, if you're interested in reading about them or whatnot. There has been talks about this book specifically. I have been seeing it trending because they're like, did you know that Michael Keaton's next story is available? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, it's a book. So, and that's what this is. And obviously, a lot of people have asked this because I've reviewed the first one on YouTube as well. And they're like, is Tim Burton involved in all? No. He is not involved, as far as I know, in this story. So, don't ask. So that is our book of the week, which brings us to our main feature of what this podcast is all about. The segment is literally called Wait, Did You Hear?
Wait, did you hear?
Hear what, dear?
Did you hear? Did you hear? Now listen here.
This segment is all about just talking about what's trending, what has been trending in the last week. I think moving forward, we're going to talk about the little things that are trending as well as the big things that are trending. Like, for instance, this week, what's trending is you got Heidi Klum's got her costume where she was
She's Medusa.
the snake lady, and her actual snakes on her...
They moved.
Yeah. So they actually had some animatronic things going on there. And you also have... Ariana Grande is going to be on the next season of American Horror Story. We're way behind on that series. But I tell you what, that's a great casting choice. What do you think about it?
Not my favorite.
Well, I mean, it depends on the story, because every season's something else. It's an anthology series, so maybe the next season's about walking skeletons.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it is, she's the perfect cast.
She's a perfect cast
oh
member.
gosh.
She is a walking skeleton. So
skinny.
they can have her. They can have some other actresses right now. I don't know. But, who knows? But really, this section was really geared towards one thing that we were doing throughout this entire week, which was going through 2 entire seasons on Netflix for a show that's called Nobody Wants This. Now, this was really your feature because you said you saw it.
I saw it
trending.
I saw it everywhere. Everywhere I was seeing a new article about it, or an interview with Kristen Bell, or Adam Brody, or like just something about it, because the first season was also insanely popular. And I had previously watched the first season, so my algorithm was probably just showing me stuff about the second season because of that.
Right.
But you had never seen it.
Right.
So we went back and we started from the beginning.
And I was okay for watching it because I'm a fan of Kristen Bell. I'm a fan of Adam Brody. And I like the show. I wouldn't call it my favorite show of all time or anything, but it is entertaining for what it's worth. It's funny. The leads have a lot of chemistry, and there's moments in the show where you're like, dramatic moment.
Yeah, the big thing about the first season is like their first kiss,
right,
is listed as one of the best kisses of all time.
I don't really understand.
I know
why.
You don't, but I mean, I do.
Look, I can give a lot
heat.
of crap to things like Twilight. I can roll my eyes at like The Notebook and things of the nature, but I can fully understand where people come from when they look at these things and they're like, oh my god, for certain elements. Like The Notebook has the scene in the rain, which it escalates.
That's such a cliche.
It is, but it works. It makes sense. I don't understand this one.
I mean, I do.
They just kiss. I mean, that's all it is they just kiss.
After, like, toying with the idea that dating each other would never, ever work.
Then again, I will say that you had worked it up, too. You had worked it up and talked about it.
Right.
So you're working up and hyping up something to me that I'm not sure what you're talking about. But when you say something like that, structurally, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to happen in the finale. Like, this is going to be like, will they, won't they, for an entire season, and then season 2 is going to be like, okay, this is their relationship. But no, that is not what the show is. The kiss happened in, like, episode 2.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was like, okay, what do we do now? Because we're talking about Jew and Gentile, because the whole entire thing is about a rabbi, a hip rabbi, a hot rabbi.
And he is hot.
And then you have Kristen Bell, who's just a normal person, a podcaster like yours truly. And it was always weird to me watching, because I'm like, he's not really acting that much like a rabbi.
But he does.
I mean, he cusses, he does this, he does that. It's not very religious of him, but I'm coming at it from a Christianity perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's entirely different ballpark. You said it's based off of a book, or?
No, it's based off of a real life couple.
Oh, real life couple. And the real life couple is not a rabbi, right?
No, I believe he was a musician.
Musician.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot more sense realistically, but it's not as dramatic as a rabbi would be.
Right. So the differences between these
Like,
two people
no,
are just so much more important because
the differences
of his job.
are integral. Like, he can't really marry unless she's Jewish or something.
Because, like, how does that look if you're
It
a
looks
rabbi
not great.
and you marry a non-Jewish
And
person?
I appreciate the show because it's like she's having this big not crisis of faith as much as identity, in terms of, well, do I want to become Jewish at all? And she's going back and forth, and it's just this big thing between them. But at the same time, she doesn't know how to not be Jewish, like, just naturally, because it's just like what she wants to do without thinking about it. I do appreciate that. And it makes me watch it and be like, you know what? When I was younger, I was looking at different religions and, trying to find my own path. Like, I don't think I really looked into Judaism. It was so close to Christianity, just without the New Testament part.
But it's not, though, because they're allowed to question everything. They don't have to just blindly follow. And, like, that really resonates with me.
And there's definitely things that I like about it, so... Yeah, I like the show. I don't think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I do enjoy it. And it's an easy show to watch. It's 30 minutes
it's
each
really
easy.
And,
you
just plug it in, have a good time while you eat dinner or doing something else. I mean, it's just a fun time. It's not super heavy or anything. There's some emotional moments. I know I tear up, but you never do. So
I do, depending on what we're watching.
Well, with this show in particular,
I just saw Marley and Me. I teared up a little bit. Okay,
but I teared up quite a few times during this show.
That's more of I feel like that's more of a happy tear thing. So going on to our next segment, we have what we call grievances and gratitude.
Gripes and thanks, hand in hand. Life's a mess, but ain't it grand? Don't give me that attitude. It's grievances and gratitude.
Now, this is a segment where we talk about things that are kind of pet peeves, I want to say, more so than like huge complaints, but also we have to weigh it against the good.
Well, they say that if you practice gratitude, you are happier overall. I have a big problem with gratitude. I have a lot of grievances.
Well, that's fine. Your grievances, I think, like I said, I think they're mostly pet peeves, and I agree with them for the most part. So, what's your main grievance this week?
So, in the beginning of October, I got some Little Debbie brownies that look like jack-o'-lanterns. And the boys just love them. Like, they just scarfed them up and just adored them. So, it's 2 weeks away from Halloween, and we're back at the store, and I'm like, I gotta pick up some more brownies. Like, a lot of them, because the kids enjoyed them so much. They go to where they're supposed to be, and they're gone. And not only are they just gone, they have been replaced with Christmas tree brownies. Mid-October, and jack-o'-lanterns are gone, and there's Christmas trees. What the heck?
I agree with this because they always push it earlier and earlier as to when we celebrate these holidays. And it's particularly bugging me because where the heck did Thanksgiving go? Like,
well, yeah, you can have a turkey brownie.
We're just gonna skip over that entirely. But also, no matter what other holiday that you're talking about, if you're talking about Christmas, usually you can get Christmas stuff up to and past Christmas because people love Christmas. And even if you talk about Valentine's Day,
they start coming out with that in January, and right up until the actual holiday.
Like, because obviously people are going to be rushing to get their honeys, some candies and chocolates and stuff like that, and so they need to be available. So, like, I kind of get it, but why can't you get Halloween decorations or Halloween candy up to the day? Like, that's what's going on.
That's like part 2 of the grievance. So a week away from Halloween, it has not occurred yet. The holiday has not occurred yet, and I'm just like, let's add to our decorations out front. So let's see if they have anything new that we could put out that is exciting. Gone. There's one little itty bitty table at the store with all the little leftover Halloween junk that nobody wanted.
And now
then
there are
Christmas
trees up and the lights that you can get for Christmas lights outside. And they have all this going on. And I was like, well, what about the skelly, right? We have our 12-foot skeleton. Is there any decorations? Because obviously it is a Home Depot exclusive, right? Maybe they have the Santa hat for it. Maybe they have like something for it to hold like a bag or like a Santa coat. Maybe they have something like that. People leave their skeleton up year round and they'll just change it out and have it wear the Santa beard and the hat and things like that. But they didn't have that either.
No.
As far as I could tell.
It was just all gone.
So if you want to do that, you're gonna have to buy off on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm so offended because I am not a Christmas person. I don't enjoy the Christmas season, and just leave October alone. October is for Halloween. The whole month. Leave it alone.
That's right. It's all the way up to the end. If you want to start doing some Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff, start at November 1.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I swear I remember a day when Christmas music, for instance, didn't even play until Thanksgiving was over.
Yeah, that's like the rule. Like growing up in our house, you couldn't play Christmas music until Thanksgiving.
I haven't heard Christmas music yet. I will say that.
It's coming.
It'll come soon. Within
Probably
the next
already.
week. Within the next week, I feel like it'll be there. Anyways, do you have any gratitude? Do you have any gratitude?
Who are you talking to? Of course not.
Of course not. Never, ever. I do have gratitude. I want to say that I appreciate, for instance, my niece and nephews. I want to say that because my family is a family that does not talk about anything important or serious ever, period, end of story. However, my niece and nephews have always been transparent. They have talked about things that are hard to talk about, and they have opened up when it's just not easy to talk about things. And they have done that consistently over close to a year now, and they had just as well in the past week. I gotta give them gratitude. I gotta say thanks to them, because several years before just this past year, we were very much on opposite ends of an invisible wall where they were taught to hate me and probably you, and then we weren't really told anything about them either. But over the past year, we've gotten to know them a lot more. And I definitely have gratitude for them being in our lives and, being open and honest about things. So, yeah, that's where I have gratitude.
Well, good for you. You're a better person than I am.
Okay. But, yeah, we have to be able to balance these things. We can't just be negative about everything, so we have to...
Just watch me.
Okay.
I can be negative about everything.
Which moves us on to our next segment. I don't really have a name for this. It's usually something in this episode. It's either going to be a game that we do, or in today's specific case, we have a surprise. So instead of a game today, we're going to be doing what Hilary has as a surprise.
And I have to make it, so... I will go do that.
I'm going to pause the recording, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to redo the recording once we have the surprise at the ready. So however long it takes, it takes. And we are back. So tell us a little bit about our surprise.
So it's a drink. It's non-alcoholic because we live in Michigan and you're not allowed to drink alcohol until noon.
You are allowed to drink it. You're not allowed to buy it.
But it just came up on my feed and it was a video of a weird concoction of espresso, Dr. Pepper, half and half, cherry syrup, and chocolate syrup.
What do we call it?
It is called a cherry mocha Dr. Pepper or dirty Dr. Pepper or something like that.
It's gotta be dirty. It's whenever you take a soda pop and then you mix stuff in there, especially anything creamy, I want to say, that's when you turn it into a dirty drink. But it's also got coffee in it.
Yep. Which is the weirdest part, in my opinion.
All right, so let's go ahead and give it a whirl.
Yeah, that's good.
You sound confused.
I'm surprised. It tastes like a chocolate covered cherry with some coffee.
Chocolate covered cherry. You're right. That's what I'm tasting. Is a chocolate covered cherry. It's what it tastes like.
Yeah, but like with some coffee and a little bit of fizz, and it's weird.
I don't really taste all that much Dr. Pepper. I taste more chocolate than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly interesting. And I will preface this by saying that there were no measurements. There's just a video of somebody dumping stuff into a cup, and I'm just like, well, I guess I can do that.
Does the video actually have anything in regard? Okay.
No, it like has a layer of cherry syrup. Then it puts ice in it. Then you drizzle like the chocolate.
You know, I stirred it a little bit more, and it tastes a lot more coffee, and a little bit more soda as well. Because obviously the chocolate sinks to the bottom, and that's the first thing you taste.
Because we have straws.
We have straws, so I'm stirring. I definitely taste more coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And
it's kind of weird the more coffee you get.
It's lighter too because there's less of the chocolate syrup. But yeah, I definitely taste a lot more coffee that time. I don't think it's a drink that needs coffee.
But it had coffee.
Well, I get it, but I don't know. So it's a dirty Dr. Pepper at the end of the day. It's just a tweaked one. Which reminds me of those like coffee creamers that they sold specifically to put into like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, they had a coconut one.
Yeah, and I was okay with it, but it was not something that I needed a creamer for that I would drink all the time. That was the problem. Like, it's really one of those things where you might order at like a restaurant as a specialty item that you're not going to drink all the time.
Well, and I don't fully understand the concept. Like, you're taking a soda, which is already not that healthy, and then you're adding more stuff to make it actually worse for you. Yeah.
So, this is okay. It's not my favorite. I mean, there's a part of me that's kind of like, you ruined a Dr. Pepper, but right. You know, where it's like Dr. Pepper is good all on its own.
Dr. Pepper is the supreme soda in my opinion.
I mean, lately though, my opinion on that changes a lot. I love Dr. Pepper and everything, but like, I've been going back and forth with different pops, and I really like vanilla Coke. Like, I just really like that. But that's, me right now.
Here's a question. Do you get influenced by things that you watch or read when it comes to that?
Sometimes.
Because when I would play this video game, you would constantly be finding like Pepsis and drinking them in the game to like get energy. Mm-hmm. And when I would play that game, I would crave Pepsi.
That's weird. I don't know. Like, I guess it probably depends on something. If they are drinking something that I have historically enjoyed in the past, or eating something I've historically enjoyed in the past, I might get a craving. Like, if you're watching like an old school like TV show where somebody's eating some Necco wafer candies, I might be like, dang it, I need to go out and get me some Necco wafer candies. Like that.
Those are gross.
I know they're a flavored chalk. I get it, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think, for instance, you can have somebody sitting there eating a Tootsie Roll and have me be like, oh, God, yes. Give me some Tootsie Rolls.
No, but you remember that stupid book we read, and I swear all these, like, detective guys were climbing stairs and eating M&Ms or something? I had to get some M&Ms.
That's not the only thing that you remember from it, but yes. But then again, like, that differs from, like, the recipe videos that we end up watching, and then everything ends up sounding good, which is why we have our lists of things to make that sound good.
I just have a weird fascination, like, even if it doesn't, because this drink was kind of weird when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, well, now I have to know. I just have to, and I'm going to think about it until I try it.
That's definitely one thing that you run into a lot. It's like, oh, God, that could be absolutely trash, but, like,
you have to know.
It's kind of like when we wanted to try that new place that opened up or whatever, the coffee place or whatever up north.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one in Sheboygan.
Mm-hmm.
That just, I mean, their baked goods just looked out of this world. Insanely delicious. And we made the, 1.5 to 2 hour trek up there with the kids screaming because they didn't want to go.
So we had, what is it? What's it all about? What's the hubbub about?
Yeah, and then the line
outside
was huge. Like, we were around the corner waiting to even get into this place. And
it was
then
like
by
a
the
club.
time,
It was like we're waiting for it to get into a club, but it was, just a coffee place.
Yeah, and then the coffee was fine, and the baked good was nasty.
It was not great. And then, and then the workers.
Oh, they
had the Gen Z stare.
Oh boy, they did. Oh boy.
Like, the whole entire, it was just not worth it at that point. And we stopped at McDonald's coming back or whatever, and like that was the highlight.
That was for the kids too, because they got their French fries.
Yeah. So you never know when you try something new, but the point is to try something new.
Exactly.
Because you might end up with something that you love. With movies, it's a hidden gem.
Okay, but like, honestly, with this drink, even if we loved it, why did we need it? Like, why did we need to take a Dr. Pepper and add cream and coffee and chocolate and sherry? But like, that's just it. If we loved it and we made it all the time, like, we would just be making our lives more complicated.
Yeah. And so that's the thing you gotta weigh against. Plus, it's not just the fact that it wasn't ever needed. It was also the fact that it was a lot of work for one drink.
True.
I mean, regular, like, alcoholic cocktails take less work. So there's that. Anyways, so that was our special of the day or the week, whatever you want to call it, and which means that's it. That's the podcast. We don't have anything else for you on the schedule, so there you go. Make sure that you head over to wherever you get your podcasts, because it'll be on everything but Spotify
for reasons.
For reasons. And you can subscribe there. You can also see it on YouTube, which will be on as a podcast on there as well. And you can leave your comments there. And we're on Facebook, and we have an email set up, which is waitdidyouhearpod@gmail.com if you have any specific questions or things that you want to get off your chest,
or you have weird recipes that you want me to make.
Yeah,
I'll make them. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. I mean, obviously we see thousands of recipes just scrolling on Facebook that we save, just to because they sound good and everything. So if you have any ideas, throw us our way too, because it don't matter.
Well, a lot of people save them and then never try them. And so if you're just like, well, I actually want somebody to try them and let me know how this is.
That is true. That is true. People just collect things and they're like, they never end up doing it. I mean, I've collected stuff and it's just sitting in there. So, yeah. So make sure to subscribe. Rate us if you haven't rated us yet. Helps with the algorithms. Helps people find us. And we'll catch you next week when we talk about whatever the heck travesties are happening in this following week. So, peace out.